There is a smell that crawls through the pine trees just before the screaming starts. It is the scent of wet copper and rotten fat. If you smell it, do not turn around. It has already measured the distance between your shoulder blades, mimicking the stride of someone you trust. Deep within the lightless canopies of the Pacific Northwest, the indigenous hunters knew the laws of the valley. They called it the false flesh. It was not a spirit or animal. It was an ancient hollow mass of sinew and cartilage that could not generate its own warmth. It needed a coat to survive the frost. But it did not take the pelts of wolves. It only took the skin of humans. In the winter of 1842, a fur-trapping brigade, led by Jean-Luc Barrett, set up camp near the freezing mouth of the Blackwood River. Barrett drove his iron blade deep into a massive red cedar, despite the elders' warnings. The tree began to ooze a thick, black resin. That night, the temperature plummeted. Silas, the camp guard, heard his brother's voice calling his name from the dark undergrowth. The voice was perfect, even the slight stutter. But Silas's brother had died 3 years prior, buried back home in Missouri. Silas walked into the timber with his rifle raised. He never fired a shot. When morning came, he was found sitting on a log. When Barrett grabbed his shoulder, Silas's entire body deflated instantly, collapsing into a loose, empty pile of clothes and skin. It had unzipped him with surgical precision, leaving behind nothing but an empty, deflated human balloon that smelled of trail whiskey. The men crowded into the cabin, rifles pointed at the door. They heard something heavy pacing on the roof, the wet slapping of raw leather. From the chimney, Silas's voice gurgled, "Let me in. The coat is too tight around the throat, Jean-Luc. Help me stretch it." Law states the false flesh cannot replicate human eyes. The sockets remain wet, gray, and dead, like boiled fish eggs. By the 5th night, Barrett, driven mad, stepped into the courtyard. Silas was standing there, his arms hanging past his knees. The skin was stretched so violently that the seams at the shoulders were splitting open, revealing the wet black meat beneath. Barrett charged, but the thing didn't flinch. It reached out with multi-jointed fingers and began to peel his forehead upward like a wet leaf. In the spring, rescuers found 13 empty suits of clothes sitting in a neat circle. The buttons were all neatly undone. Think about the last time you felt a sudden chill in the forest. That is the atmospheric vacuum created by the false flesh. It is watching you right now from the blank spaces between the digital pixels, studying your facial muscles to learn how to twitch. If you hear your name in the forest, never acknowledge it. If you answer, you give the thing ownership over your skin. In 1974, surveyors found a trench filled with hundreds of belt buckles and dental fillings, the indigestible metal pieces the monster couldn't fit. You see her standing under the oak tree, but her shadow is twice as wide, and her knees bend slightly backward in the dark. She turns her head toward you with a loud, sickening crack. "Dad!" the voice says, but the mouth won't move. The monster has been tracking your light. It knows the dimensions of your skull. It is looking at your fresh skin with desperate hunger. The extraction is silent. Tomorrow, you will walk down the street and none will notice the loose, wet seams at your ears. The coat fits perfectly. Now open your mouth, practice the vowels, and find the next skin to wear.